Hello, everybody. John Boy, you want to get us going?
Yeah, Pete, you talked yesterday about the offensive line a little bit. When you go back and look at the tape, just what jumps out at you most about the performance that group had?
Well, it was really consistent pass protection wise. They did a fantastic job working together with the timing and getting the ball out and all that, and all the different actions and the movements that Shane had our guys doing helped. But the guys played really consistently across the board. Um, Got to get rid of a couple penalties, and not give them stuff. But and then as the game wore on, you saw us develop more, some more opportunities in the running game. So they just did a really solid job. I mean, if they were giving out a game ball, I'd give it to the O-line.
Corbin?
Hey Pete, there have been a couple instances recently where the defense has been in nickel and dime sets in the red zone or in short yardage situations. How much is Jamal's absence out there right now maybe causing some of the growing pains that we're seeing from this defense trying to adjust to what you guys are doing schematically this year?
Well, as it was a year ago, it went the other way. We didn't have him to develop some stuff that we wanted to do then. Now we had enough time to get our stuff going, so we have had to shift gears some, and let me leave it at that.
Michael Sean?
Pete, when you look at the issues the defense has had through 4 weeks, how much of it is the scheme stuff, or just how much of it is guys just not executing?
We got to get better at our stuff. We got to get more consistent because what's happening is the explosive plays are affecting drives as they always do. There's always, you have an explosive play that the odds of scoring points goes way up, and that's the big concern right now. We came around okay on third down numbers. We didn't do well on fourth down, but we did okay on third downs. But the explosive plays are giving them all kinds of opportunities that we can't give up. And those are, one thing or another. It's not any one thing. It's not the coverage that we're playing, or it's not the style of stuff or any of that. We just have to execute better and not give up the yardage we're giving up.
Real quick, what are you seeing from the pass rush?
We need to, fire it up more so. We're looking for more heat, and we have to do that hand in hand with coverage that's tighter, make them hold the football a little bit, and then just get more out of it. We need to be more productive, and until we get that switched around, it makes it hard, because the guys have to stay in coverage longer and all of that. But you can create rush and pressure by the way you lock them down. So we have to do both.
Thanks.
Sure.
Nico?
Yes, thank you. Pete, I just wanted to stay with the defense topic, and I wanted to know what the conversations are with Ken Norton. I mean, going back to last year, it seems like defense continues to be a problem. When does the conversation begin to be about him as a defensive coordinator?
About Kenny?
Nico, Ken's no longer with us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I totally misread that. I meant more of as a scheme of the offense rather than personnel on the field.
We need more time to figure out, how we're zeroing in. We got to get better at what we're doing. I really like what we're doing. We just got to make sure that everybody's solid and we're eliminating the errors, and that's how the big plays are happening. So that's where our focus is.
Masvita?
Yeah. Hey, Pete, this morning you talked about the chunk plays, and then you said that it's a recognizing situational tackle and just kind of getting guys to understand this. I wonder if you just elaborate a little bit more on that.
There's different tackling situations, that we address. There's tackles when guys are on the sidelines and you get to, inside out your way and approach the tackle with leverage and make, a solid attempt at one. There's open field where you don't have any boundaries there to help you. There's plays when you're fitting off your teammates. There's times when guys are hung up, and you can see a couple great tackles that Quandre had, where the ball carrier was pretty much trapped, and he was able to just cut loose and go, cut the guy down. And then there's the tackle when you get in open field, like say a guy catches a hitch and we're in man coverage and everybody else is off the field, it's just you and him. And in that situation, you can't take the opportunity to try to make a big hit in hopes that you get them down. You got to recognize I'm on my own, and that situation calls for a more conservative type of approach to the tackle, buying time for your pursuit coming and all that. So it's situational tackling is what we're talking about. And if you don't recognize it and you take the same shot, like I'm going to go knock the guy out, you can make us vulnerable to big plays, and that's what we have to do a better job of recognizing that. Usually, by this time we should be getting that ironed out, and so we're trying to clean that all up.
Thank you.
We're going to go to the phone lines now, and Bob from South Sound.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
We got you, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, you got me. Okay. Hey, Pete. Maybe the answer with the defense.
You sure that's not you behind the mask right there?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Great.
Maybe the answer with a lot of the defense is the same with a lot of these positions, but the secondary. How did you feel like they're playing? Obviously, Tariq and Kobe had big plays yesterday, but kind of in general, how did you feel like they did?
Yeah, we've got to get rid of the chunk plays that change the field position, and some of that comes from our play, and some of it comes from penalties too. Our guys they're learning what they can do and what they can't do, and we have to clean that up because we're just giving away yards and giving away field position on stuff. There's awareness things too. In the last 2 weeks we gave up in long yard situations. We gave up 2 big plays that not only get your opponent out of a hole, but change the field position. We had one on a 3rd and long last week, and we had one on a 2nd and 23 or something like that this week, that are really simple situations that we just have to recognize. The quarterback was moving this week, and so we have to adjust and sync and take care of the stuff behind us. So there's some growing, and there's some maturing. And I mean, I'll have to tell you, Tariq had one a week ago, and Michael had one this week. So there's our young guys getting a feel for it, and we got to make sure and learn the lessons and put some stuff to rest so that we can make it harder on the opponent.
And one more on that. Sydney played some yesterday. How did you feel like? I guess
he got back in action. It was good. He didn't have a lot of stuff that he could do. Had a couple balls thrown his way, but he's back in there. So he's back in the competition, and is glad to have him back.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, I think you said this morning you saw improvement in the defensive side of the run game outside of the big plays that hit you. What were some of the things you saw specifically that you thought were better on that front?
Yeah, we fit better off the down 3 guys. They really tied down the middle of the defense and did a good job. We really can count on our big dudes inside. They can get that done. And so it's us fitting, whether it's the linebackers or the safeties fitting up, and fitting properly and making sure we're in the right leverage positions to make the tackles. But I feel real confident in what we're doing in the middle, and those guys can get that job done. So that's a good step forward. And there was a bunch of plays where they didn't make much of anything, but we had a 50 and a 21-yarder or something like that. That's half their yardage. That didn't have to happen at all.
And I think this is the most snaps that Eskridge has played. How have you kind of seen him start to work into things a little bit more on what you saw out of him yesterday?
Yeah, it's great to just get some rhythm and get him out there. He's doing well. He's really a tough kid, as well as all the explosiveness. He's blocking well. He ran tough on the perimeter play he had. We're just anxious to keep including him. And by the middle of the season, he should be regular and rolling and really be a big factor for what we're doing.
Greg?
Pete, do you have the right 11 personnel going forward on defense, or personnel changes?
We're still competing. We're still got some competition. That's why we're rolling guys around to see who's starting. But all of our guys are going to keep playing. We need the guys that have been in there. I think Mafe played 34 plays or something like that. That's getting going. And we need more. And we'll keep rolling the guys and making sure that we're trying to keep our guys fresh. There's a chance that LJ comes back this week. That'd be good for us to get him back in the action and see where he goes into the playtime. So I think we just got to keep working it and just keep finding our way and making sure we're getting all the right info so that we can make the right choices. But now most everybody that you've seen rotate are going to continue to do so.
Does this season, is it going to take longer this season, maybe more than in previous because
I hope
of the
not.
nature of the changes?
I'm waiting right now. I'm waiting for right now. I'm over the waiting part.
And real quick, is there any advantage you see in New Orleans not taking the bye and coming back from London? Is that to your advantage?
I don't know that. I don't know that. I kind of be anxious to talk to those guys about that. Just to get some info, see how they feel about it. It's as big a trip as you can make, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. Well, let's wait and see, and I hope they're tired.
You didn't even consider that for Germany because that was a good time bye for you, right?
Yes.
Brady?
Pete, Ryan Neal played quite a bit yesterday. What did you think of the way he played, and could he factor into more playing time at safety?
Yeah, I really think that he's going to continue to play. I talked to him really just before this game about this week coming up. We had prepared him to play, against Detroit, but I had told him that I want to try to expand his play time and give him more opportunities to do stuff. And I just like the guy on the field. He's an aggressive, fiery, feisty dude, and he hits people and seems to make things happen. So I'm anxious to see if we can continue to grow his opportunities.
And how's Daryl? Do you know anything more about Daryl Johnson and his ankle?
Yeah, he hurt his foot, and he's got an injury that's going to take a while. I don't know specifically. I think it's like in the stress fracture type of thing that he's dealing with. So that's a somewhat of a significant injury. Unfortunately, because I was really fired up about him in part of our plans. He's big, strong, versatile, active, smart. Really one of our guys, and so I'm really disappointed that he got banged up. He was the one guy really that got hurt in this game.
Do you think he'll be able to come back at some point this season?
Yes.
John Boyle?
Yep. Pete, Uchenna had another sack. I think he forced a holding call on another play. What's he been bringing these first 4 games?
Shoot, Johnny, he's been our top guy. He's been the most consistently active. He had an interception in his hands, too, that got away from him. He's been terrific on the run. He's been a consistent rusher. He's been a tough guy throughout. He made some great plays. Remember in the goal line a few weeks back, he made some great stops down there against Denver, I think it was. So really, we love him and gets along with everybody. He's just a tough guy and a terrific competitor. So he's playing really good ball.
Back to the phone line, Bob.
Pete, with Geno, was there any one moment where in this offseason or anything where you really saw him sort of take command of the team and like the team became his kind of thing?
I wouldn't say that, Bob. I don't. Geno really understood the situation and the competition of it. He maintained the. He maintained kind of the mantle of it, and all, but he was very respectful, and I think he was such a pro about it, as was Drew, that those guys get along great, and they're helping one another and they're rooting for one another. We couldn't ask for a better relationship in that regard, but I do think it's because Geno realized it was going to take some time, and we set it in motion with the thought that we're going to give it time and give Drew his chance, and that's not exactly what Geno wanted to hear, but he accepted it and dealt with it beautifully. And so, we're at this point right now where Geno's off to a fantastic start, and Drew's ready to jump in any chance he gets. So, but there wasn't a specific time, because I delayed the process. You guys saw, you watched exactly the timing as it took place. We wanted to be disciplined about that, and go through the process. Remember, we had the big glitch in it when Drew got sick, but Geno has been there at the ready the whole time, and has always kind of maintained that he was in the lead, which we kept telling him he was, and it really worked out great. And I'm so proud of his start and fired up for him.
Nico?
Yes, Coach. I was just wondering the type of challenges that this New Orleans offense kind of brings up, and do you really worry about Winston being healthy, or do you just prepare for Andy? Like, how challenging is that part in terms of getting prepared?
Yeah, they're a little different in style, but they're both experienced guys, and they make good decisions, and they can throw the ball all over the place. So there's not that much difference in their play. Neither one of them are big runners, but they run, and they're pretty similar in that respect. You got to give props to both those guys. They play a lot of football now, and they've been out there, and so that means they're going to make good decisions, and they're going to run the team well and all that. So it doesn't matter that much to us, who's coming up. We have high regard for both guys.
Okay, last question, Curtis.
Yeah, Pete, with Charles and Abe, what's the biggest stride you've seen them make through 4 games coming off of yesterday's showing?
They're still out there, They're just out there, logging time and going to the bank with it, and just the more experience they get, the more time they have on task. You just know that they feel more comfortable. They're communicating more readily. Still can get better. Both guys are plenty tough enough and physical enough to do the things that we ask of the position, and they've been really consistent, and so it's big credit to those guys. There's a lot to take on, and we're protecting the quarterback better than we have in past years, and we're expecting to continue to get better too. So because we know they're just getting started, so it's a very, very positive thing for us, and I'm really happy for those guys. They're having a blast. They love playing and they're excited about it, and so it's all good.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll see you Wednesday.